someone who is seeking the Republican nomination as a running mate, who would you choose?
Ron Paul.
Okay.
Actually, I had that question came up earlier, where people asked me, what kind of a person would I like for a running mate? They didn't say Democrat or Republican. They just assumed I'd be saying a Democrat, okay? As a Democratic nominee, I'd consider Ron Paul. Because I think that he's someone who has integrity. He has a vision, his courage. When I'm in Congress and I look at the American eagle that spreads its wings 50 feet across above the floor of the House of Representatives, a glass etching. It's an incredibly beautiful piece of art. It's a glass etching of an American eagle in all of its fullness, all of its strength, the arms spread. And when I look at that, I'm reminded that American eagle needs two wings to fly. It needs a right wing and it needs a left wing, okay? You got it. And now think about this, okay? I'm talking about an administration that isn't going to necessarily be made up of people I agree with on everything. How boring that would be. We wouldn't have the chance to have the kind of discussion that would get us to the best place. I want people who bring diversity of opinion, so we have different ways of looking at the world. And Ron Paul would do that. He and I agree tremendously on an international policy. If you look at the voting records, you might see a vote being, 233 to 2, and you'll know who the two are, KUCINICH and Paul, okay? So I admire him, and he's my friend. On domestic policy, we're pretty far apart. But, I think that we could work with each other to talk about the direction America's capable of and find ways to meet a common ground. So, are there Democrats that I would consider? Of course. But I want it known that as the nominee of the party, that I keep my options very wide open. I want our party to be able to have the broadest appeal so that we're not just, representing one type of politics. Ron Paul is the person who could help us do that. Thank you. Were you surprised when you said it, by the way?
No, I wasn't surprised at all.
Thank you.